the people will hear it. And right now, they are not taking that lightly because, I mean, that's an open threat to the entire community. So they are currently calling on the government of Kwara State this time not to actually pretend that they are not aware this threat exists. They shouldn't wait till after when people have been slaughtered, properties destroyed, and then they started this their media run to try to water it down. After 2-3 days, everybody move on. If there is a reason for government to be proactive, before disaster happens, this will be it. Well, I hope they hear their cry. Let's go to Ira Town in Kwara State.
Ní ìkànnì BBC Yorùbá láti wà a wà nílùú Ira ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Ọ̀yún ní ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara. Ní báyìí àwọn àgbàlagbà ni mo wà lọ́dọ̀ wọn tí mo fẹ́ fi ọ̀rọ̀ wá lẹ́nu wò tí wọ́n jẹ́ àgbà ìlú náà. Ẹ bá dárúkọ yín.
Orúkọ mi ni Alájà Rashida Sisala.
Ilé ó ṣẹlẹ̀ nílùú Ira lọ́ba yàrá tí gbogbo èèyàn pé ní méjì mẹ́ta.
Kò sí ìfọ̀kànbalẹ̀ fún wa o. Wọ́n ní àwọn ará bí wọ́n ti kún gbogbo inú igbó wa. Àwọn security tá sì ní Ìlẹ́mọ̀nà wọ́n káàkiri gbogbo ìlú káàkiri ni. A tún need enough security. I need enough security. Kíjọba dákun kan ràn wá lọ́wọ́ o. Ọ̀yún wá fọ́nká ni. Ọ̀yún wá fọ́nká ni. Àwọn tí a bá wà ní Ìlẹ́mọ̀nà at the same time wọ́n lè wà ní Ira. Kí wọ́n dákun kíjọba ràn wá lọ́wọ́ ni o. A lè sùn láti bí ọ̀sẹ̀ bíi mélòó kan sẹ́yìn. Kò sí ẹni tó lójú oorun.
Báwo ni wọ́n ṣe kọ̀wé sí ìlú Igbo wọ́n ti rí ìwé?
Lójú ọjà ní ìsọ̀ ọlọ́kadà ni a fi ìwé sí. Ní gáràjì ọlọ́kadà ni wọ́n fi ìwé há mọ́júmọ́ ńgbà tílẹ̀ mọ́ táwọn ọlọ́kadà débẹ̀ ni wọ́n rí ìwé. Ní ẹsẹ̀ múwèé lọ sọ́dọ̀ kábíyèsí ni.
Ìgbésẹ̀ wo wá ní ìlú gbé lórí rẹ̀ báyìí?
Wọ́n ti gbé àwọn security wọ́n wá wọ́n sì wá wọ́n ń lọ wọ́n ń bọ̀ ni wọn ò lè dúró.
Àmọ́ ìlú tí security wà wọ́n sì ti wọ ọbẹ̀ ní mọ́júmọ́ alẹ́ àná kò jẹ́ lè wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ wa ní bíbí.
Ìlú wo ni wọ́n wọ̀ mọ́júmọ́ alẹ́ àná?
Ìlẹ́mọ̀nà ni security yẹn wà. Àmọ́ ní mọ́júmọ́ yìí wọ́n ní wọn ò sùn pé wọ́n láwọn àwọn gbúrò àwọn yẹn so àwọn yẹn wọn ò tún lè wá sí bíbí mọ́ àti rí wọn láàárọ̀ yìí kọ́dá kíjọba àwọn kó ṣàánú wa o wọ́n ṣàánú wa o kọ́ bá wá sí pàdé ìṣòro ọlọ́run ṣàánú wa o.
Gbogbo ìlú wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ lọ báyìí wọ́n ti wọnú fáàmù wọn n'Ìlẹ́mọ̀nà kò sójú
oorun. Àgbọ̀pá àwọn ọmọ yín ò lọ skul lónìí.
Àmọ́ láti jọ Friday wọn ò ti lọ skul mọ́ o.
Àmọ́ wò lè lọ skul láti last week.
Èyí tí ó ṣe wáyé kìíní ìsìn àwọn ò lè lọ skul wọ́n ní káyọ̀ tọ́ print ní ìsìn wọn ò rí bí lọ.
Ẹni èèyàn wa bí nǹkan ṣe rí nílùú Ira ní láàárọ̀ yìí o.
So this morning, BBC Yoruba visited the town called the Ira. It's not Ira. So Ira town and many other towns in the like Elomono, like they said, right? Those women, they were explaining in Yoruba to those of you who didn't understand Yoruba, so you understand what they're saying proper now, okay? So the women answering question from the journalist was like, what's going on? So they said they received a letter that was pasted at the market square for everybody to see that they will be coming. Meanwhile, for weeks now, they have already seen them mobilized into the nearby forest, which has already caused the communities to raise their own security. But the thing is that they are pretty much like, not enough. So these security guys, this team, move from town to town. So their own fear right now is that they will be overwhelmed, okay? Because for them to return from this town to another town that is being attacked, it could be too late. So because of this, they have stopped their children from going to school. You get that now? Because the fear of, they wouldn't want to be at home, and then the news, breaking news, school children have been kidnapped in Ira town, which is part of the Onion local government area. In Kwara State right now, Ifelodun, these ones are the ones I can remember offhand right now, okay? Ifelodun local government area has been taken over by the terrorists. You get that now? This Onion local government area has been like, few of these incidents in a way. But with this new development, it simply means, it is going to be escalated, okay? There is a Kayama local government area. That's why you have the Nuku and the Woro local government, towns, the place where over 170 people were killed, and at the same time, over 160 were kidnapped, including children. You saw the video yesterday, didn't you? So I don't know other local government areas currently in Kwara State under these same tense attacks. Mind you, these areas that have been under incessant attacks, they're in the southern part of Kwara State. That's why you have been hearing them speak Yoruba. Okay? So they are the southern parts. These are those who are suffering it most. I'm not saying those who are going to Ilorin have not become victims on the road, though. I'm talking about targeting communities, local government by local government. It's happening in the southern part. Another part of Kwara State is also, they are also experiencing similar Fulani terrorism between Niger and Kwara North. Anyway, the children have stopped going to school, like completely, because the parents can't even take the risk. Now watch this part. There is a school, the guy covered, BBC Yoruba.
Àgbébọ̀njà tí wọ́n kọ̀wé sí pé àwọn ń bọ̀. A lọ sílùú Ìrá láti lọ wo bí nǹkan ti rí ní ìlú ọ̀hún látàrí ìbẹ̀rùbojo tí àwọn èèyàn ń gbé nílùú náà, táwọn èèyàn kọ̀ọ̀kan sì ti ń fi ìlú ọ̀hún kalẹ̀ báyìí láti sá àsálà fún ẹ̀mí ara wọn. Ní ìlú Ìrá, a wà báyìí ní ilé ẹ̀kọ́ Muslim Community School tó wà nílùú Ìrá. Gbogbo ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀hún ló dá páropáro báyìí tí àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kò wá sí ilé ẹ̀kọ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ náà wọn wá sí ilé ẹ̀kọ́. Gbogbo ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀hún ló dá páropáro báyìí látàrí ìbẹ̀rùbojo pé àwọn agbébọ̀njà tí wọ́n kọ̀wé sí ìlú náà pé a ó ṣeé ṣe kí wọ́n yọjú sí ìlú ọ̀hún. Èyí ló mú kí àwọn èèyàn máa fi ìlú ọ̀hún kalẹ̀ báyìí láti sá àsálà fẹ́mi ara wọn. Ilé ẹ̀kọ́ tí a wà báyìí, ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀hún dá páropáro, kò sí àwọn olùkọ́ àti akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ní ọgbà ilé ẹ̀kọ́ náà. Àwọn ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀hún náà ni ẹ̀ ń wò lọ́ọ̀kan báyìí. Mo rí olùkọ́ kan tí wọ́n dúró sí ẹnu géètì níbí láàárọ̀ yìí tí mo fẹ́ bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ káàárọ̀.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ sà.
Kí lorúkọ yín?
Mrs. Agbola ni mí.
Ilé ẹ̀kọ́ wo la wà yìí?
Muslim Senior Secondary School, Ìrá.
Kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ tí gbogbo ilé ẹ̀kọ́ yín dá páropáro báyìí?
Ní tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní pé ní látàrí ìbẹ̀rùbojo tó wà níta ti fífún ìyẹ̀wò ti lẹ́tà tó wọ́n kọ sí inú ìlú, òun ló fà á tí gbogbo ẹ̀ fi dá páropáro.
Àwọn wo ló kọ lẹ́tà?
Àwọn bandits ni, according to the letter, àwọn ni wọ́n kọ. So ìtorí rẹ̀ làwọn ọmọ òfin lè wá. Àwa gẹ́gẹ́ bí olùkọ́ kìí ṣe pé ẹ̀mí tiwa náà balẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bá a ṣe dúró nínú ilé ìwé báyìí. Bọ̀ torí àwọn ọmọ tí wọ́n wá láti suburb area tí èsè inú lágangan, àwa ṣe dúró pé tán bá dé a lè fi wọ́n lọ́kàn balẹ̀ díẹ̀ àgbébá tí ó jẹ́ olórí ilé ìwé tó jẹ́ principal tó bá sọ, àwọn lè sọ pé fáwọn ọmọ pé kán máa lọ tó fà á nìyẹn sà.
Ilé ìwé ọ̀hún ni ó dá páropáro báyìí. Yàtọ̀ sí ilé ìwé yìí, ìgboro ìlú náà ó dá páro. A gbọ́ pé àwọn èèyàn ti gun ọ̀kadà jáde ní ìdájí láàárọ̀ yìí, àti pé látìgbà tí wọ́n ti kọ̀wé sí ìlú náà ni àwọn èèyàn ti ń wá ọ̀nà láti fi ara pamọ́. Ọjà ìlú ọ̀hún tí wọ́n ní ó máa ń kún dáadáa tẹ́lẹ̀ náà ó joro púpọ̀ báyìí, gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn èèyàn tó wà ńbẹ̀ kò ṣe tó nǹkan. Ọ̀nà ìlú ọ̀hún náà ni a wà báyìí tí gbogbo ẹ̀ dá páropáro látàrí ìbẹ̀rùbojo lọ́kàn àwọn aráàlú pé bóyá àwọn agbébọ̀njà wọ́n lè yọjú. Bákan náà, ilé ẹ̀kọ́ kejì tí wọ́n kọjú síra wọn ní ilé ẹ̀kọ́ Ìrá Grammar School, Ìrá. Ní ilé ẹ̀kọ́ Ìrá Grammar School, Ìrá. Bákan náà ni ọmọ ṣe rí nílé ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀hún náà. Ilé ẹ̀kọ́ náà ni àwọn olóòkàn yìí, èyí tí òun náà tún dá páropáro tí àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àti àwọn olùkọ́ tí wọ́n wá sí ilé ẹ̀kọ́ látàrí ìbẹ̀rùbojo èyí tí ó gbọ́kàn àwọn èèyàn nílùú náà. Ilé ẹ̀kọ́ Ira Grammar School ni ilé tí a wà báyìí. Ọgbà ilé ẹ̀kọ́ Ira Grammar School ni a wà báyìí. Àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ò lè wá sí ilé ẹ̀kọ́ nítorí ìbẹ̀rù bojo àwọn agbébọnjà tó kọ̀wé sí ìlú náà.
A long clip, so I think the message is passed. There is one more that maybe I should add. There are those who call themselves Yoruba leaders, Yoruba elders, Yoruba think tanks, the youth and all of them, market men and women and all of that, who are being mobilized, or they are mobilizing other people for Tinubu's second term. These are people of Yorubas. And if Tinubu as president could not protect them when he is the president now, who do you think would then protect them? Because under Bokwari, all these things happening right now, that's continuing to happen, especially this Kwara part, Kogi part, and the victims as they continue to line like others that we have, exposed for years. So when you look at, what do you call it? When you look at these victims, before Tinubu came, as bad as Bokwari was, back then, this used to be our fear, that if nothing is done to stop these killings, it is going to spread southward, southwest. We've been having, the record of these killings and attacks, but not targeting communities like after communities and all of that, like they've been doing elsewhere. So now our worst fear is what people are now living. Then we blamed Bokwari for protecting the terrorists and their interest. Who do you think we should then blame right now? And whose interest do you think they are protecting in this sense? So the same way, some of you who have not experienced this in your own state, especially in Yoruba land, and possibly continue to believe that maybe it will never get to you. Our fear is, we hope it won't get to you. The other part of our fear is that maybe we pray, not prayer. The other part of our fear is that one day it could become our reality, just like what we are experiencing right now. The people of this part of Kwara State, they've never been under any major threat, until Tinubu came. So if they have to suffer that for 8 years, do you know how far that can spread? And the areas that even you and I would never imagine will now be these communities we'll be talking about in other part of Yoruba land. Just think about that. Or maybe Sunday Igboho could be right. Maybe right. He said Tinubu is not going to leave Yoruba land the same.
torí mọ̀ pé kí bàbá yẹn tó parí ìjọba yóò ti wá gbogbo ọ̀nà tí ọ̀gbìn ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wọn torí wọn mọ̀ kó tó máa tó kú bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kọ́ nípa ẹgbàá wọn sọ fún yẹn gbogbo ọ̀nà tẹ́yìn ẹ̀ bá mọ̀ tí wọ́n bá ti ń bó kọ̀ọ̀bá Tinubu jẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n tó ṣe ẹ̀gbọ́n tó kọ̀ rẹ̀.
That was him telling them that he is very confident that Tinubu, by the time Tinubu is done, he would have put Yoruba land in the position where they will never suffer again. Because immediately he leaves power, he is now projecting. He said immediately Tinubu leaves power, Yoruba will suffer because they will reverse everything he's done. But he is very confident that by that time, Yoruba will be in position where they can never suffer. So everywhere they hear anybody destroying Tinubu's name, their job is to make sure that they stand up and defend him. That's what he said in Yoruba to that group of men. I just hope that, one thing again, I just hope that his relationship with Tinubu's people can give him, what I will call the free hand to help go after these terrorists. Because from many of them, he is the one they fear most. Because he is the one that is not going to follow any rule of engagement. You understand? With the backing of the federal government of Nigeria, then maybe they can just let him help them. You get what I mean? Not to keep him incapacitated and then turn him to praise singer. You get what I mean? I'm talking about Oloye Sunday Igboho, so that they don't turn him to a praise singer that would be, whose word would be as worthless as anything. You get what I mean? His usefulness is not to be Tinubu's praise singer. And it can actually be a positive thing for Tinubu if they let him this time without anybody targeting to kill him, to go after the terrorists in Yoruba land. That could be the positive side. But you and I know that no, they're not going to let that happen. And the Yorubas will still suffer like everyone else in other part of Nigeria. I've said this many times that the only thing that is well democratized in Nigeria, democracy in that sense, is the shege that these guys continued to dish out to all of us. The shege is the only thing that is evenly distributed across the country. Everything else, you are on your own. Like this school's principal, I think they call him a principal. The school is called Politico, local government area, primary and secondary school, something in Kaduna. Things have gone so bad in that community enough that the school principal has claimed started using one of the classrooms, empty classrooms, as a pen, or no, as a poetry.
Shi ada luku.
Nigeria. School principal converted, unused, and that actually looked like it's not like a dilapidated structure. What's that? No. But yeah, promoting education. That is what they are doing in their own way. But let's take that for a second. And then take a bit of the tour to National Assembly of Nigeria. Natasha is in the news again. And this time, it is for a fight. But let me give you context. Natasha Akpoti, Senator Natasha Akpoti, the one that accused Akpabiole of sexual harassment. Remember? Then all of that suspension and all of that, and the sympathy and all that I followed. So she believed that she is still being persecuted. She's a member of a committee. I call that she's a member of this particular committee who has been interviewing or interrogating agencies, ministries, all of them who are coming to defend their budget. So the last time, he had a bit of shouting match with supposed the chairman of the committee that she's part of, when she won't be allowed to speak. And the guy who is the chairman, hit his gavel and said, the show was over. And she was like, I haven't even spoken. You didn't give me time. You gave everybody time to speak another year. But still, he was not allowed to speak. So what then happened today? It is said, even though the Senate is not in session, but they are still working in the committee level, at the committee level. So she discovered that a meeting has been scheduled by this same chairman of our own committee, while she was not told. But everyone else in the committee was told, like informed, that there will be a meeting at social section of the National Assembly and all that. So she decided to go and confront the guy, who happened to be a colleague, but chairman of a committee, to go and confront